Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do get started, I do want to say two little things. Number one, your guys' eyes do not deceive you. You are looking at this series from my channel again. Now, Blaze thought it would be a fun idea to tag me back for the series that defined my channel, the OG. And that certainly does mean quite a lot. Now, I want to say I'm the first person to have done this concept whenever it was around. Now, I say that because this concept defined who I am as a content creator. This series got my channel popular whenever I first did it the first time around. So, if I do get positive feedback from you guys, I do want to continue and do this as a potential series. Now, with that being said, I do want to at least do something ambitious that I don't really do for series. Now, a decent number of people for feedback to continue this. Fuck it. I will say if this does get 4,000 likes, I will do this as another series. I've been meaning to go back through and, well, redo some of my older projects. So this one could definitely be interesting. Now then, Blaze, I know you're watching. I know you can hear the enthusiasm in my voice because I get to tag you back for another series. Let's see. I'd say one that's interesting, one that's... How about something I've done, Blaze? Since I'm doing a redo at your request. How about you do a conduit, Deku, from the infamous series? Have fun with that. Now then, with that being said, let me begin. Let us pick up with Izuku Midoriya. Izuku Midoriya, he was at the age of 14. Today was a very interesting day. He met the number one hero, All Might. And All Might, he told him that he could not be a hero. He told Deku that things are not going to go well today. Izuku, he went to the mall. He was wandering, thinking, trying to figure out this place he's in. The number one hero, the guy he freaking idolized, just spat on his dream of becoming a hero. He nearly dropped him. He saved him from a villain because he was defenseless. Yeah. All Might just... He wants to be a hero so bad. But what could he do? And let's just go through Izuku's mind. Turning his head and hearing a commotion at the mall. Before he does a run over and try and get a look at this latest villain attack. Wondering if he should take notes. See if anything's going good. Well, I mean, see if anything can benefit his notes. Possibly identify weaknesses. Do something like that. Just figure something out. Figure out the abilities and just catalog the quirk. And this, it is something that Deku, he is quite curious about. Running over and seeing Bakugo Katsuki being attacked by the sludge villain. And Izuku, he does feel a little bit of weakness in his knees. He feels scared watching this happen because that villain must have been let loose because of him. All Might dropped the canister. That must have been it. That's the same villain that attacked him, so this is his fault. Crap. This on Izuku's mind, and he is trying to devise a bit of a strategy. And All Might, he currently is in the crowd, trying to think about what to do. Trying to just figure this all out in his head. He needs to. Shit. Okay, okay. He needs a plan. He needs to do something. But, okay, this is not good. Everyone's distracted. Heroes can't take care of it. No, no. Maybe he could. Deku running under the barricade before he does it and move in. And All Might does gotta watch what's happening. Deku tried to use a tactic to take on the Sludge villain. And while people are busy watching that, there currently is somebody on the news. Who? That someone watching the news. Who? They've been trying to monitor and track his activity. They need to learn more about him, learn his schedule, figure everything out. This year, he's going to be a teacher at UA, and that gives them time. UA has a set schedule. They have a list of events they do. The provisional license exam, the interning with pro heroes. And then there's one event in particular they need to plan for, the USJ. And all for one, he's wondering about what they should do. He's beginning to catalog an interesting number of quirks. Some that he should keep, pass off, maybe. Some that he could also put into this latest creation. I mean, All Might definitely had some power behind him during their last battle. But this creature, he needs to have it for a reason. Currently, the news going to show Deku as the Sludge villain is blasted away by All Might, who doesn't throw a single punch, changing the weather as people they do go to watch what's going on. And the news team, they are still there on scene. Currently, it still filming as the man with the camera does get a turn. Currently watching as All Might is to pull the young man aside and begin to talk to him. And All for One is reading All Might's lips, figuring out what he's saying. And this, it certainly does intrigue him, as we do have All Might, whose sole focus is right now on Deku, expressing to him that that was really dangerous. Does he understand that? I do. Yeah. I just couldn't stand there. I don't know. I didn't think. I mean, I did, but I just, I didn't, no, I couldn't stop. You couldn't stop yourself? No, it happened. I had to try and figure it out, okay? Listen, I get it. I can't be a pro. I don't have superpowers, but everyone was just standing there. Where did you come from, anyway? I was trying to track it down. Right. Thanks, anyway. Deku turning, feeling a bit of disdain at the idea that his idol, the person who he spent so much time looking up to, let him down. That phrase, don't meet your heroes. It feels a little bit more real. And All Might, he has to bring his hand out, putting it on Deku's shoulder as he immediately does get a freeze. All Might going to bend down onto his knee and tell Deku. Him turning back around. He does apologize. What? I was wrong. You want to go to UA, correct? Yes. Yes, I do. Good. Then you need to be strong. Listen, meet me at the beach tomorrow morning. We can talk further about things. I can help you out. With my help, you can become a hero. Him bringing his hand out and pressing it on Deku's chest. And All for One is to watch that boy smile wide as the camera does a zoom back out and the person does get a turn. Currently, them going to hear the reporter on screen talk about how they do need to get out of here since the weather might ruin some of their equipment. And this, all for one does pay attention to, turning and going to call out for Kirigiri, who does go to arrive, being given his current directions. He wants Kirigiri to watch and monitor this situation, find out everything he can, and then come back to him. Once that is done, then they will have everything set into motion. And that is where we do actually have Izuku. Deku is shocked the next morning when he goes down to the beach, and All Might sits him down and explains about the power he can give him. And this idea of getting a quirk, it just completely alarms Izuku. It sets him it sets his mind into overdrive. And this, it does give him a goal. Something he needs to do. If he can achieve enough with his training, he can take on a quirk and go to UA. It sounds amazing. And this, it does give Deku a goal. But now, he just has to climb the mountain. And we do have Kirigiri, who currently, he does sit there, in the shadows, monitoring Deku, watching him. The first month does get to go by. He sees it, sees how the boy does aspire, sees the work he's putting in, sees everything. And then there is where the second month does go by, then the third. And Kirigiri, he does get a report back in. All Might is trying his best. He is teaching this boy how to throw a punch, trying to teach him how to fight, teaching him the basics he's been practicing in his free time. He's even trying to teach him a smash. And this, all for one, he can understand now. The boy is supposed to be his successor. Young Toshi finally found him. But he found them before he passed on the ability. So that's good. It's another situation. Nana found a quirkless boy, gave him that power, and he killed her. You know, there's a bit of a pattern there. What is it? He killed his brother, the second user was around. He had the power, and then he passed it on to the third guy. Then he killed the second. Then the third guy passed it to the fourth, and so on and so forth. Someone always got that power before he killed the previous user. He killed Nana Shimura. And All Might, he nearly killed him in their last battle. If that boy receives the power before his plans come to fruition, he is going to lose. This might be the generation that has a chance to beat him. And with the information he now has, he can alter this situation. And that is his plan. He just found the person who will be their monster. Some quirkless kid that All Might is growing attached to. Oh, happy day, he found his successor. It's disgusting. So right now what All For One needs to do is let that connection grow. Whenever he thinks the boy is getting strong enough, that will be the time they pull him away. Just before he gets there. Just before he can get to the top of that hill, that way they can push him right back down and see what can happen. But then they'll bring him back up that hill. Just not the way he wants. Now, Kirigiri does keep the situation monitored. He makes sure to update All For One on even the little bits of details. Sometimes it's what Deku will do throughout the week. Oh, is his training improving? A little bit, yes. Has he been doing better? Has he wavered? Has he done anything new? Little things like that. Keep the details. Keep everything choreographed. If he steps out of place, all for one wants to know. One more step, or even one more workout. Is he being pushed too hard? That's what all for one needs to know. If that boy has the type of will needed for this training, if he fails, that's what he wants to hear. Deku won't fail. And all for one, after 7 months into his training with All Might, he does realize this. The boy is determined to be a hero. And he does believe that it's finally time for his plan. And we do actually have Deku, who currently he is on his early morning jog thinking about what to do. All Might's plan is interesting. He's definitely been improving. Though picking up trash at the beach, it's not that bad. Do that for a few hours a day, then at least try and get a good, nice workout in. High intensity, and, well, what is it? What did All Might call it? Time under tension. That stuff definitely does help with muscles. And then there's running and the cardio building. All Might's ideas are actually doing him pretty good. Pretty soon he might actually be able to do a bit more. Plus, he's been taking All Might's suggestion. On his rest days, look at different fighting styles. Maybe do a little bit more. But if he does try to squeeze time in to actually try and learn how to fight, that would take away from his training, and he can't do that right now. It would definitely be bad. Definitely be Deku stopping before he's around a corner and sees something out of place in his routine. A man leaning against the wall next to an alleyway. He's well dressed and smoking. Well, not just his head, but is he smoking a cigarette? Currently, this being where Kirigiri, he doesn't turn his head. And Deku, he does a somewhat freeze, realizing he was staring at this person. Before the man does it have his eyes somewhat shift, the light showing a bit more aggression, asking Izuku, what does he want? Why is he staring at him? I'm sorry. Deku taking a step back, expressing about how he doesn't want to be rude. He just caught him off guard. He's never seen someone like him before. Kirigiri stepping off the wall, and Izuku, he doesn't stand there. Kirigiri bringing his hand back and beginning to create a portal. Before he does have behind Izuku, where a portal, it does begin to open up. And currently, it does expand wider and wider. Before Kirigiri does step towards Deku, bringing his hand out a little bit further and grabbing Deku by the back of his training suit. Deku turning his head before he's immediately pulled backwards and currently into the bar, smashing down and looking around, highly confused, concerned and a little bit more, where is he? Before someone, they do throw their hands up. Currently, Shigaraki bringing his hand out and grabbing directly on to Deku. Before Deku does feel the decay rip into and hurt his leg. Deku screaming out before Shigaraki is yelled at by the doctor to let the boy go. And he doesn't do so. Deku currently clutching at his wounded leg before he's a turn, and seeing a doctor. His hands shaking as this incredible amount of pain, it does burn. The man bending down, for bringing his hand up with a syringe, informing him he does have quite a lot of plans for him. This is going to be fun. Let's see. Hmm, he does remember this one quite well. Bring the needle down and directly into Izuku. As right now Deku does feel something plunge into his arm, and things do go black. And we do actually have All Might. All Might, whenever Izuku didn't return from his run, he got concerned. He gave Deku a phone call, then a second one, and then he gave him a third, before he tried to move through the city on Deku's route, trying to find out exactly where he is, try and see what's going on. I mean, this does not make sense. He's gone. And this is whenever All Might, he does report a missing person to the authorities. It is a little concerning. All Might said that he was helping this boy clean up the beach. And, well, he went for a run because of his training to be a pro hero, and then he was gone. That's what he told the police. He tried searching for the man, he tried searching for the kid, trying to at least ask around and see if anyone saw if he went missing. And a man, he did claim to see something quite weird on his way home from the store. He was driving by. He saw some guy with a smoke head and that kid around a corner. I mean, he just passed by them. The guy was having a cigarette, and, well, he assumed that he worked in the bar that was near the alleyway. So it didn't seem out of place to him. And that's one of the only things they do have: the description of a mutant, and the last possible person to have seen Izuku. Though this much detail to go off of doesn't help them that much. Now, there actually is over in the lab where the doctor, they are currently typing away on their screen. And the data they're getting from Izuku, it is beautiful. This has the potential to be his magnum opus. But no, 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 no. He has very little time on this one. Well, the process? Yes, yes, of course. The process will be simple. Start with changing. No, no. He doesn't have time to do much. He can enhance his physicality, change around a lot more, and then he can go through the process of adding the quirks. No, no, no. That won't be good. They need to start with one quirk. And, well, if he is going to be a proper nomu, then this is going to be interesting. Doctor. Hmm? Oh, yes, Master. What is it? I don't want you to do too much to him. What? Yes, physically. I want him to look the same. But that. Do you know how. I can. Are you questioning me? No, 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 sir, no, no. It is possible. It will take away from. Well, it will save me time. But how do you plan to use this one? We need a little bit more than that. We need something that isn't mindless. What do you mean? You want it to control itself? Yes. I have plans. I have a lot of things I want to do. It's gonna be simple. Now, is he awake? No, no. Would you like me to wake him up? I can increase his adrenaline. Here on my monitor? Yes. Give him a little boost. I want him to hear me. And I'm gonna do so. Increasing a little bit of things before Deku, he does have it begin to flow through his IV, and his eyes immediately do to wake up. Deku looking around before finding himself inside of a tube. And the man, he does look up at Deku. Izuku, seeing what's happening, bringing his hand up, trying to pound on the glass wall, but he feels hard to move. The thing on his mouth is the only way he can breathe. And whenever he does try to look for an escape, he can't. He's in a sealed fish tank. An All For One does get to express to Izuku that right now he has a lot of plans. And right now, he does intend for him, Izuku, to be at the center of all of it. He is going to be used as a weapon. All Might cares about the boy. Can he say the same is true? This boy is going to murder his idol. And Deku's eyes go wide, trying to pound at the glass as All For One does continue to express more about his plans. It's going to be simple. They're going to put him through his paces, see what he can do. And when everything is done, when it is time, he will murder All Might. That's what will happen. He won't have a choice. He has a very special quirk just for Izuku, and he'll let him know. They are going to find his mother and implant the same quirk in her head. Deku was staring at All For One, who's talking about giving a quirk to his mom. I'm going to let you know. If you don't listen, I'm going to kill your family. I will find your father, hunt him down, bring him here to you, and I will make him the example. Afterwards, your mother, she'll have a bomb in her head and she won't even know. If you defy me, if you misstep, if you do not listen to every little word I say as if it is your gospel, I will personally let you watch both of your parents die. Your father will be the example. Your mother will be the ultimatum. Do you understand? And Deku, he does still stare at this man, eyes full of fear and just confused. Before All For One does that turn and walk out of his lab. Right now, him thinking about a few powers. Shock absorption. Then there's super strength. Then there's the regeneration. That one definitely does sound quite nice. But then what about a little bit more? More sweeter quirks. Well, this will definitely be quite interesting. He has shown that he is compatible. So it does appear that this boy will even have a version of his own power. 6 and 9. Those two were quite interesting projects. But this one, the fruits of the labor will certainly be quite interesting. Starting from 0 and building him up. 6 was unhinged. He was unstable and crazy. 9. Quite the unfortunate drawbacks. A very powerful ability that was hurting his own body. But now they have something interesting. A rare specimen indeed. A perfectly healthy human with no ability to hold them down. So what they put inside this canister will affect him better. It's going to be quite the interesting little project. He's wondering what the doctor might do. He will listen. He'll follow. And currently All For One does go to find Hisashi Midoriya, because this will certainly be the start of a beautiful little game. And we do actually have All Might. All Might is trying to still look for Deku. He called on Gran Torino. He called on Aizawa. he called on a lot of people he knew, and this meant a lot. He's calling in favors from heroes he doesn't even know, and they are currently on one of the biggest manhunts for a kid that's ever been perpetrated in their city. And All Might has a bad feeling in his gut. Even Bakugo joined the search. He knew that Deku was training. He knew he was doing better. He almost felt, no, no. He'll just help find shitty Deku, then he'll go to UA. His first act as a hero. finding, finding, finding his old friend. Now, with that being said, I do hope that this one does set up how I would do this story. And to be honest, guys, I was treating this like a part zero. So I do hope I get some very good feedback from you guys and I can turn this into a whole series. Now, just remember, there is a goal to reach. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I do hope you enjoyed, because I had a lot of fun recording this one. It's very just nostalgic for me. I'm sure the excitement's palpable in my voice. I'm just going to go ahead and stop recording before I keep talking like an idiot. Good night, guys.